Hey there, Tamir from Fibonacci-Traders.com here, daily market recap, January 17, 2024. Like, subscribe, and let's see what SPY and friends brought us today. SPY went down 0.56 to the downside. We got ourselves a sell signal today. Another doji, but to the downside. Indecision in the market, but looks like bulls are losing power each day that goes by. Now the 470, 471, this area needs to hold. Then we will see 466. Below 466, ladies and gentlemen, we need to brace ourselves and prepare for 458 and 454 on the SPY. The same price action we saw over here, the same magnitude of price action to the upside we got over here. Below 466, we will see to the downside. It's not yet short time nor long, because what do we see? We see SPY between the 466 and the 478 in the last 2 weeks or so. We need the SPY to let us know where it wants to go. Long continuation above 471, below 466. According to the chart, according to the price action, I see 458 and 454 to the downside. And of course, it's only my opinion. Always do your own due diligence. It's good to follow others to get ideas, but it's your money. Do your own due diligence before you take any trading or investing decision. QQQ, trying to hold this uptrend channel. The lower border of this uptrend channel is holding since November, and way back there it held since October. Held, and now once again a doji of a trend line. We are at the 618 Fibonacci retracement of this downtrend, this short-term downtrend, still a downtrend. But now let's see, continuation above 408, then 413, and then 423 to the upside. Weekly close below this area, and we have also a double top scenario on the Qs, and then we will go south to the 384. Embrace yourself for any scenario. Once we put on a trade, anything can happen. No one knows what will happen next. The only thing we need to ask ourselves is what if. Take a look on the Dow Jones. Dow Jones moving sideways since middle of December. 1 month of sideways move between the 371, the 378. Now we got ourselves another sell signal on the daily, but we need patience. We need to break below the 371, and then we will see 367 and 360 to the downside. This is the what if, breaking below the 371. But if we want to go long on the Dow Jones, we need to wait for a break above the 378, a weekly break above the 378, and then we can take Fibonacci, the FTI, the Fibonacci-Traders indicator, the new indicator, all under one roof. All the things that will make you much better trader. Fibonacci, risk management, candlestick analysis, everything under one indicator. Long continuation above the 378, and then 382 and 390 to the upside. IWM, continuation and its relative weakness under the sell signal inside the downtrend channel. Now holding this Fibonacci, the 187. Below it, we will see 182, but it doesn't matter. As long as we are under this red line, this sell signal, we are also inside this short-term downtrend channel, but downtrend is a downtrend. So until proven otherwise, we are heading south on the IWM. Bitcoin moving sideways, holding the 41,500. Below the 41,500, we will see 39,530. We got ourselves another sell signal over here on the daily. Basically, nothing much on Bitcoin. Since beginning of December, Bitcoin is just moving sideways, and we see that the 41,500 is a super important area of support. By the way, this is Fibonacci levels automation, risk management automation, all under one roof. Below 41,500, we will see 37 to the downside. You want to go long on Bitcoin, we need at least 1 week closing above the 46,000. Ethereum holding nice, the 25. As you can see, Fibonacci is everything. It gives us all the support and resistance. In this case, the FTI, the Fibonacci-Traders indicator, gives it to us automatically. Just place this indicator on your chart and you're set to go. Below, what if 2,500 will break to the downside? We will see this trend line getting retested once again as support, same as it did here, same as it did here. Long continuation in Ethereum, in my opinion, only above 27 to the upside, weekly close above it. KRE, same as the IWM, relative weakness. Now the 48 is holding, below it 45, and then we have a gap at the 41.61. Nothing, no long for now on the KRE. Crude oil, sideways move. Let's clean the chart a little bit. Too much noise. As long as we are under this sell, no need to think. We are under sell conditions. We need, if we want to go long, we need this sell to turn into green. Buy zone. In my opinion, only above 75. Natural gas. We can adjust it to be a little bit more accurate. Uptrend, retracement, 618 is holding. The yellow zone is a very important zone on the Fibonacci traders indicator. Long above, short continuation below the yellow zone. Gold. Let's take the Fibonacci a little bit higher time frame. Now breaking below this Fibonacci, the 2000. Next is the 1970, and as you can see, the FTI, the Fibonacci traders indicator, works on everything. It works on the SPY, on the Qs, on cryptos. It even works on Forex, futures, of course, ETFs, stocks, on any time frame, swing or day trading, short or long. It works on everything. SOXX, we are still above this yellow trend line, very important trend line. Every time SOXX hit this trend line, we got ourselves a buy signal. Also here, now all we need to do is continuation above the 565 area, and then we will see 583 and 634 to the upside. Below this yellow trend line, below the 555, 552 area. If you're already long on SOXX, it's time to start thinking about closing the long. But of course, once again, everything you see and hear on my channel is for educational purposes only. XLE. You know this white trend line. We've been talking about this white trend line in the past few weeks or so, since we broke below the 84 area. We said with high probability we are going to retest this bad support. Yes, there is such thing as a bad support and good resistance. In this case, this is a bad support. Why? Because it supports the lower lows. So every time you hear support or resistance, it doesn't mean automatically support is good, resistance is bad. No, this is a bad support. Lower lows. You're more than welcome to go back and check few videos back, and you see that we have talked about, we are heading to retest this. Now with a doji, off a trend line, off a Fibonacci. Now let's see a bounce. And maybe above 81.30, this sell signal will start going green. XLV, nothing much. Moving sideways, holding the 138, 139 area, holding still above the green line, above the buy signal. Below it, this buy signal, in my opinion, will turn red. But this is the beauty of the FTI, the Fibonacci-Traders indicator. I don't need to think. I need to wait to see what the signals and what the FTI is telling me. Microsoft, holding strong, relative strength to the rest of the market. Still above the buy signal, above the yellow zone, the yellow zone. And the FTI, the Fibonacci-Traders indicator, is a very important zone of support and resistance. Look at here. It was resistance. Now it needs to hold the support. Entering this yellow zone. And if you're long on Microsoft, it's time to manage your risk a little bit tighter. Apple, each and every day that goes by, we are still on a buy signal for some reason. I need to check. Once again, it's not 100% proof, bulletproof. No strategy is 100% bulletproof. Every strategy has its faults, and here is the fault. But we already went over several names, several tickers, and this is the first fault. We are talking above 75-80% accuracy on this FTI. Apple doesn't look good. Look at the weekly. Let's clean the chart. Weekly inside this yellow zone. We need a weekly close above the yellow zone, and then we are also under a sell condition on the weekly. The higher time frame, the stronger the trend. So do not fight the trend on the daily, because on the weekly we are under a sell condition inside this yellow zone. Short continuation on the weekly on Apple. Below the yellow zone, we will see 173 and 165, and this double top scenario on Apple will continue to 165, and then below it 144. For this double top scenario on the weekly on Apple to get negated, we need a weekly close, maybe even two, above this yellow zone. AMD, another day, 0.9 to the upside, above 161, above this green trend line, we will see 172. Nvidia 0.6 to the downside, yesterday broke above this green trend line. Today, this green trend line got retested, long continuation above the 570, and then we will see 606.40, and our risk management is this green line. Tesla, selling pressure, continuation. Nothing much on Tesla. Daily, under a sell pressure. Weekly, under a sell pressure. Below this yellow zone. On the daily, below the yellow zone on the weekly. 7 days more until Tesla's earnings. Until then, in my opinion, Tesla will continue to bounce up. And between these two zones, these two levels, between the 223 and the 214, below 214, 197. Shopify, this is resistance. This white trend line is resistance, but it's a good resistance. Guess why? It was support for the higher lows, right? So if it's support for the higher lows, it's a good line. Yep. But this line became resistance. It's resistance for the higher highs. And as long as price, in this case Shopify, continues to grind up below or above, this trend line, we are heading north because this trend line heads north. Netflix struggling, but still inside this uptrend channel. And as you can see, now all we need to do is hit this orange trend line, bounce back above the yellow zone, and then we can start back taking long position on Netflix. Below this zone, below the yellow zone, below this trend line, we will see 444. This is the beauty of this FTI, the Fibonacci Traders indicator, which I've been working on in the last 2.5 months. So we don't need to think. We want to think as less as possible while trading, because if we think too much, we get emotional. And we want to control as much as possible our emotions. We cannot delete our emotions. We cannot ignore our emotions. But we certainly can control them. And this FTI, the Fibonacci Traders indicator, is here to help us do it. And Google is holding above this yellow zone, the 138.60, from resistance, now support, still above a buy signal. I want to see another day bouncing back above the 141 towards the 145, and then we will start our long position once again on Google. Amazon 1% to the downside, going inside this yellow zone. Sell signal, all comes together under one roof. Nothing much on Amazon. And as you can see, Amazon, very nasty price action since beginning of November. Nothing much on Amazon. Long continuation above 158 and then 166 and 180. Below this yellow zone, we will see 146 and 142 to the downside. Last but not least, Meta holding above the buy signal, holding above the yellow zone. Long continuation on Meta, only above. If you're not long yet on Meta, in my opinion, only above the 377. Until then, if you're already long on Meta, below this yellow zone, below the 353, you need to start thinking about your long position, about your risk management. As you can see, Meta is still inside an uptrend channel. I want to see above this green line, maybe above the 377, and then going up. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, like, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell because we are going live every day, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, pre-market preparations. Until then, stay safe.